one to touch.
Can't get him to the high side. Here he comes. No,
there he
turns
him. He turns him.
Bush in the wall. Here comes Stewart to the checkered flag. And another car gets him the backside. It's Casey Kane. And they're scattering everywhere as they come to the line.
Some of these guys hit hard, man.
And one of them was Kyle Busch.
They're still hitting hard. Man, that's an ugly finish. And Tony, once he blocked, Tony put the bumper on the outside of him. He was there.
Watch the night. I think it's
Watch
a 9 car
gets
takes
right
a
in the
hit.
back.
I mean, just clobbers Kyle Busch.
And these guys, there's a 31 car to it, but these guys hit hard right here.
Logano finally, his luck ran out. He just
but you see these guys going across the racetrack. This is ugly down here.
It's drilled by Kane right here.
And you know, we got the safer barrier, but I'm telling you that Hans device, those things.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's a shot. So he got hit. He took a shot in the front, and then he took a shot from the back. I mean,
a little curvature to the car after he straightened it up a bit.
Oh, trouble on the backside.
Right into the 52, trying to lock the brakes up. Issues on the backstretch.
I saw that one coming.
Has the 52 of Joey Gase stopped on the track that had him stopped.
In front of Joey Gase.
So Joey had stopped
he was
trying to avoid this.
Exactly.
Ooh, is that Kevin Harvick?
Harvick tried and slid by on the outside, luckily.
I think Kevin made some contact with that car. Wow.
Big time collision between Brian Keselowski in the 26 and Colin Brown. Mark Green in the 49 also involved, and Brendan Gaughan, who was having a great run after starting 25th, had worked his way up through the field. Ooh, Brown up in the wall.
Looks like another failed right front tire, the way the car shot.
Here comes Keselowski. Bang.
Wow. Yeah. And so we talk about this being a short track, but that illustrates how fast a track is. You can't brake, you can't steer left or right.
Oh, wow, that's a hard impact. And then you see sliding up on the top, there comes Menard.
Trouble off turn 4, a dozen cars involved. Caution is out.
See Kurt Busch going up through the middle with Kyle. And then all of them start getting together right at the front of the field. You can see that started, looked like with Trevor Bayne getting separated, got a little bit loose behind the 6. You see somebody drives right underneath of Allgaier. Yeah, that's the 52, Reed Sorensen, that was underneath. He was completely underneath. See Johanna Long getting a piece of that. Not a lot of contact, but she has some damage to the left front. I believe it starts right here. Watch Trevor Bayne. May have to jump out of the throttle and get sideways here. A lot of times, June, you have to jump out to keep them running over that car in front of you. Your car will just jump for about a half a lane. I'm telling you, Reed Sorensen was completely underneath Justin Allgaier's car.
Here's the first move. Oh, trouble. Dillon gets turned around into the middle of the pack. Casey Mears is the one that hit him. Caution is out. Race is over.
They got him loose.
The longest. Whoa, there goes the 5-car around.
Yellow. Oh, whoa, and it hit ridges there. The 97 of Ambrose.
Look at this 28 car. It's at the 38 car, all jacked up in the back. Somebody's underneath him.
So much we can't even see who that is.
They're going to fire off the exhaust.
That's the 84 of Scott Speed. 0-1 able to get through, and then there's the contact with the 84, the 70, 38, 77 up against the wall.
70.
Benedetto! And everybody!
Good. Oh, no. Are you kidding me? This is big. Wow. But
Yeah, and it really and truly, it was Paul Menard. He gave to Benedetto a little shove, but it was on the outside, on the right side, and that just turned the Benedetto into the outside wall, and then it was on from there.
And a different situation than we saw in the clash between Menard and with Jimmy Johnson, but it was a similar thing.
The next pit stop, and just, you know, those guys got tangled up there up front, and we were in the middle of it. So I know I had one car on my roof, and everybody else just kept piling in. So I don't know exactly who that was, but
it was one of the more wild wrecks. All of a sudden, everything just like got really smooth, and I realized I was up in the air. And it doesn't look like it, but I felt like I was looking straight down, and I was just going like, oh, just come back to the ground and not flip over.
Casey Mears, gets tagged
and nowhere
hard.
for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to go in that 88 car.
Two more cars hard in the wall behind them. One is Hornish.
Someone has run underneath the 5 car, it looks
like.
The
other's Reed Sorensen, and Mears ends up on his roof.
It's Sam Hornish in the 77, because I knew the car just picked up off the ground all of a sudden.
It's up high, and he just loses it there. Comes down right.
Just clipped Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Got turned him around. But now this is when it really is bizarre. Watch this.
Hornish already had damage, and the hood was up so high he couldn't.
Haven't talked a lot about Clint Boyer tonight. But as we close on 10 to go, he finds himself in position to strike. Marty?
Well, that's because he's been in the back of the pack on purpose, Adam. Crash on the track, Adam.
Just talking about got Airborne. A.J. Allmendinger, Jeff Gordon, David Rudiman, Matt Kenseth all involved.
Behind him. He goes there. Wow. I don't know if the 2-car got into the back of him and sent him to the inside and he overcorrected.
You know, it almost looked like Kyle, the car in front of him slowed down.
Good point.
And he turned to the left.
Wow.
And then corrected maybe. Yeah, that's really a strange act. Man, Matt did a good job not hitting that car, but then he got clobbered.
See Blaney in that. And Blaney had a good run. Those guys had run in the top 10 or 15 a lot tonight in that 7 car.
Yeah.
Oop. Oh, we got a crash.
Crash. Big. Well, yeah, it started being big.
Oh, it's big now.
It got big.
Another big one in turns 1 and 2 at Daytona. The 42 of Kyle Larson completely sideways.
He gets down to the apron. You see the sparks where the track bar mount hits the ground. He saves it, but he comes up the track, has no choice but to connect with the 19, who then starts to spin. Brad Keselowski gets a face full of sparks. The 17 does go around, and now the track is blocked. Now these guys are trying to find a hole through, and the 2 gets woed up, and the 3 kind of gets woed up, but then you see Carl Evans goes back up the track, and here comes Brian Scott with a full head of steam, makes big contact with the back of the 19.
These 3 cars, they have all tested one another back and forth. We've got trouble in the first turn. A bad accident. Gene Glover's number 71 car flipping end over end. The other car, Jarrett, car number 8. Jarrett unbuckling, now climbing out of his machine. No movement on Glover's car. And Jarrett is hurt. He falls to the ground, rolls over. Looking at it one more time, there is Glover. He is spinning, and Jarrett just hits him right square center in the back of the car. Now Glover goes upside down once, continues rolling upside down a second time. Jarrett's car is just slowly sliding along the racetrack. A pirouette out of Glover's car, a 3rd time upside down. It's going over again and again. The 5th time upside down. And finally rolls to a stop